Hi everybody, I am in traffic again, so you'll see a lot of red lights. I am coming at you again on a Monday night because this is probably the only time I'm going to have to update this week. It's, the week before Christmas, so it's going to be a crazy week, super crazy week actually, with the kids' school stuff and with finishing up Christmas stuff, which thankfully I actually am done Christmas shopping with the exception of a couple of stocking stuffers, more just like movie tickets and that kind of thing. But otherwise I'm done. I just need to wrap it all and be done with it, because let me tell you, this year it's been a rough year on thinking about Christmas and what everybody wants, and it's been a weird year. Anyway, that's neither here nor there toward the video. So, weigh-in. I weighed in tonight. I went to my group. I'm actually out a little bit early because today is the 5-year anniversary of adopting our two older kids, and it's very exciting. So this is adoption day, and I'm going home to do a little mini celebration with them, and we'll do something bigger another day. But it's very exciting. It's been 5 years, and that's actually been crazy. It's almost been 6 years since we've known them. So we've known them in the first week of January 6 years ago, that's bananas. That's bananas. But the reason I say that's crazy is because I did my weigh-in. I am at 167 point something. Can't quite remember off the top of my head. But I have lost 55 point something pounds, which is amazing. And it got me to thinking that my kids have never seen me this low. My kids have never seen me this weight. They've never seen me this healthy. They've never really seen me this active. Even when they came home, I was far more active than the last few years. But, except maybe when I was pregnant, because I was very adamant, or right before I got pregnant, because I was training for the half marathon. But even then, they really didn't see a whole lot of it. Now they do. But they've never seen me this anything. So even, when they first came home, I was heavier by quite a bit. I haven't been this weight since 2011, which is so crazy to me, but at the same time so amazing. And realistically, it was probably closer to mid 2011 instead of late 2011, because late 2011, I believe is the year that we started. Maybe it was 2012. I think late 2011 is when we started fertility treatment. So I really started putting on weight easily at that point. Anyway, I'm very excited. I have some goals. We have the next 2 weeks off class, so we won't return until 3 weeks from now. And I am hoping to be decently close to 160 pounds. I'm 167 point something pounds right now. That gives me about 3 weeks to, like I said, decently close. I don't think I'll hit 160 in those 3 weeks unless I am just jamming it, but I've got 3 kids at home and a bunch of stuff to do during 2 of those weeks, so probably not. But I'm hoping to get 5, maybe 6 pounds down. I really want to hit about 4.5, I believe, because I would really like to hit the 60-pound weight loss mark. I think that would be amazing. I would love that. And then I am And then at that point, I will have, about 20 pounds left to lose. And then, according to what I talked to my doctor about last year, I'm so sorry, my train of thought is a little bit off this week. So last week when I had talked to my doctor, he said that I could get to about 140, see how I feel, and if I still want to lose about 10 more pounds. For my height range, technically the middle of my BMI, which I realize is not the end-all be-all number, but the middle BMI for me would be about 130 pounds. He said that I can go up to about 140 to 145 and still be okay, but he doesn't, if we're talking, staying a really healthy weight, he wouldn't want me to go over 145 in long term. He would love if I could stay at the 140-ish. So the plan at this very moment is ultimately to get to 130. Realistically, I don't know how perfectly possible that is, but we'll see. So the goal right now is to hit that 140, try and stay there for a couple weeks and see how I'm feeling, see if I feel like I can go 10 more or even want to, or if I'm pretty content there. Also at 140, after maintaining that for a couple weeks, we're going to do another round of blood work and make sure everything is still looking good. We're also right now keeping an eye on my blood pressure, not because it's high, actually because it's low. I have always had low blood pressure, but once I get even more active than I am now, and lower weight and all of that, we really want to make sure that my blood pressure is okay. And if I'm having any symptoms of low blood pressure, then we kind of need to reevaluate. But that's more, I think, in terms of diet and how I go about exercising, rather than not exercising or going any lower weight in general. So right as it stands now, I've got about 27 pounds to lose and ultimately about 37. So I am starting to get to the point where it's going to start getting harder to lose weight, which is a daunting thing. It's a daunting point to be at. And I'm starting to think about maintenance, which is also crazy to me because I have been lower than I am now, but I have never been to a point that I have been ready to try and maintain. So I don't know how hard maintenance is, and I am worried that maintenance is going to be as hard as losing the last 20-ish pounds, because losing the last 15 to 20 pounds is always the hardest. It's always harder. It's when your body really wants to hang on to things, right? So I'm getting to the point where my body's gonna want to start kind of pushing back and not letting go of weight as easily, and I'm trying not to use that as an excuse, and I'm trying not to fear that, but it is a little bit daunting and fearful to know that things might start getting a bit harder to lose, because like I said, though I have that 140 goal, the ultimate is 130, so I'm still at almost 40 pounds total to lose, but it's gonna start getting harder. So I don't know, we'll see how it plays out, but yeah, so I'm getting there, and I would just be so excited to hit that 60-pound mark and keep going, obviously, but I'm definitely noticing it in my clothes. Eventually, after maintaining for some time, I would like to create a capsule wardrobe. That's kind of one of my goal rewards. I have been setting a goal reward for myself for every 10 pounds lost, and then I figured I kind of needed to set myself some goal rewards for maintenance. So for maintaining my weight, I would really like to create a nice capsule wardrobe in clothes that are high quality, that, you know, make me feel good and are a little bit more conscious of the environment and how they're made and where they're made and that kind of thing, which at this very moment, when it's something that I'm going down in clothing sizes kind of quickly right now, I don't want to spend that much money on clothes. So I've been trying to buy used or find people who will hand me down clothes right now. But that's kind of one of my rewards after maintaining for a few months. I don't really think there's much else to update on. I've kind of rambled here and there about silly things, but, you know, I ramble. We all know this. I think that's pretty much it. So I have about 2 more weeks before I start transitioning back to real food, and at that point I will be keeping somewhere between 1 and 3 meal replacements, and then transitioning back to, I'll be transitioning to ultimately somewhere between 1 and 3 meal replacements a day, and then real food the rest of the time. It kind of depends on how things go in terms of real food and how many calories I'm supposed to be doing at that point. I believe they want us to get to 1,200 calorie per day, but they want a very specific amount of calories of food, and then the rest of the calories can come either from food or from meal replacements. So the amount of meal replacements will depend on my calorie intake for all of that. But eventually, as we get closer to the 30th week, we will do metabolic testing and see what your resting metabolic rate is, and all of the biometrics, and figuring out what my specific number of calories that I should intake a day is, and how much weight I have left to lose, what I should be burning, what I should be eating, and then once I get to maintenance, what those numbers should be as well. So that'll be coming pretty close to week 30, which is right in mid-March. So we'll see how close I can get to goal weight by mid-March. And yeah, okay, it's 13 minutes, so I will let you all go, and I will talk to you maybe next week if I weigh in. Otherwise, probably the 7th. All right,